come first, right?
Welcome back to the Regional Athletic Complex in Salt Lake City, Utah for the 2021 North American Invitational Sevens. We move back to the U18 Girls Division Pool 1 play, ARPTC. That is the American Rugby Pro Training Center, and it's off to a great start with an early try against United Girls Rugby. I'm Brett Williams, glad to have you along. Hope you've been enjoying your day watching us here on Flow Rugby. This has been a tremendous showcase, and we aren't even halfway through today. Full day of rugby today and tomorrow. Some of the nation's best have come from across the country to be here. And ARPTC is looking to be a very, very tough out in the U18 girls. Earlier today, I saw them dominate Belmont Shore 34-7, and already asserting their will against United. It did not go well for United earlier today. They lost 32-0 to the Maui Wahine Warriors, also in this pool. So they come in with just 1 point for the loss. ARPTC 3 points for the win. Now with the girls, as I talked about earlier, if you were here for my previous call of the ARPTC match, girls have 2 different cup brackets tomorrow that have yet to be determined exactly who will qualify for which. There is also a challenge bracket for the bottom 6 teams of the 22 in the division overall. But don't yet know if one cup bracket will be superior to the other or not. However, what can be said is if one is in fact superior to the other, ARPTC is certainly making its case it belongs in the highest of them all. 10-0, less than 2 minutes in. The other second round pool play in this group will be, matter of fact, it's going on right now between Belmont Shore and the Maui Wahine Warriors. Obviously, if you look at that, again, 2 lopsided results earlier, so Maui certainly the heavyweight in that matchup, you would figure. That is going on right now at Field 2. Right now, United Girls Rugby trying to establish some possession. That's a knock-on against ARPTC, so they'll learn at least to scrum. Again, the ARPTC Hawks, based in Little Rock, Arkansas. Women's rugby power. They're led by head coach Jocelyn Sherman. And their team is as follows: Catherine Mignone, Julia Murray, Hallie Hunt, Patty Greenwood, Shannon Mahan, Kate Muldoon, Marley Germendi, Caroline McGuire, Reagan King, Camilla Cruz, Kenzie Riccardi, Carter Bedford, Sarah Doherty, and Maleka Atoigu. Said this before, I'll say it again. I cannot confirm pronunciations, not being on site, so apologize if any of those were incorrect.
So I said what I was thinking was
Also can't confirm individual jersey numbers. Recognize a lot of these faces from the earlier match, including that one. Number 9 was impressive, number 7 was impressive. ARPTC really put on a clinic against Belmont Shore. Encroaching on a 3rd try. Number 5 was impressive. She was all over the pitch in that one, and she's got another try. Sherman has this team coached up right, and the Hawks are soaring. Conversion falls short. Picked up again by ARPTC. Was just checking. Don't actually have any rosters to report for United Girls Rugby. Sorry about that. This is a team also from Utah. Of course, plenty of Utah-based clubs have made their way to the state capitol for this. A couple of teams who are already based in Salt Lake City, Majestics and the host Utah Lions. Came up just short of the in-goal area. This, however, will not. Number 5 with yet another try for ARPTC. And that conversion is perfect. So 22 in the early goings for ARPTC. Unlikely that point differential will play. Well, to be honest, I don't know that, because certainly, again, in terms of pool standings, the first tiebreak is head-to-head. Unless there's a draw, that will apply. So point differential won't be implicated. However, with the uncertainty regarding how they're going to sort out the brackets, that's where point differential could actually come into play and could benefit ARPTC. So too Maui, also in this bracket. As mentioned before, that match this evening between ARPTC and Maui should be a very good one and perhaps affect a lot of how tomorrow goes. Looked like a ruck might eventually form. It was a maul, but it was not a very conventionally positioned maul. They're sort of bent over there. Tried an Easter egg roll of sorts. No look pass. ARPTC off and running. And down for another try. That should do it for the first half. Can they make it 29 in the half? Not quite, but they'll take 27. Halftime in Salt Lake. ARPTC in front. Hoping there would be a way to get a live look in at the score on another field right now. I don't know if we have the capability to do that. A couple of ways that I've just tried were unsuccessful. But if you want to take a look at what's going on, check out Field 2 right now during this short halftime break. Perhaps it'll be slightly off sync from where we are now, and that match will not be at halftime between Maui and Belmont Shore. Coming up next on this field, Pool 2 action, U18 girls, Scottsdale Wolves and Rhinos Academy. Rhinos is another team that dominated earlier. They were all over Badger selects. And so, at least from what I've seen, ARPTC and the Rhinos are two dangerous teams. Certainly Maui appears to be. Haven't seen the Utah Lions yet. Will do later today. They were a favorite according to Goff Rugby Report. So too Charlotte Tigress. Both of those teams were supposed to be in the invitational side, but that tournament had to be, or that division I should say, had to be combined with this one due to a lack of enough teams to actually fill out a bracket over there. So that's why we have an uneven 22 teams with this unusual multi-bracket situation. But Golf Rugby Report was saying that the bracket as it existed before those invitational teams were added represented a hugely talented group of teams, said there would be a surprise at some point. Something would come out of this girls division that we didn't expect, and I just think we're setting up for one heck of a tomorrow. That's what I think is going to come out of this no matter what. And if all of those other teams live up to the billing, you add these two to the mix. Stay tuned. Excellent rugby on tap. That's what this NAI Sevens is all about. This event says it's looking to become the Roslyn Park Sevens of North America. So far, so good. Can United Girls Rugby get something going here in this second half? It's a good offload. And now some space. Flips a tackle. And here goes United. For the first time today, the Utah-based squad is on the board. And it all started with a brilliant offload out of the ruck. It almost acted as a pass as that particular player spun down on the tackle and squirted it right out to her teammate who scored that try before anything could be established. She had an angle, made no mistake, and now can try to cash in for two more. Not quite there, but 27-5 the score.
I wasn't on. But it wasn't that I came out and was tired or I didn't feel ready. Whatever happened, and then the second game, I was much better, and I was having a lot more fun and enjoying it. Making decisive decisions.
Finding her way through all the sea of white. Breaks one tackle. Can't evade the second. But gained a lot of territory, and her teammate takes care of the rest. Impressive solo effort earns 5 more for the Hawks from Arkansas. I want to correct myself as well. I said a moment ago that we did not have a roster for United, and I was incorrect. I overlooked something here. So I want to go ahead and give those ladies a proper acknowledgement. Head coach is Carson Malott, and the team lines up as follows: Hinckley Blanco, Annalie Alani Vakapuna, Catherine Moore, Elsa Lavulavu, Kiani Akina, Anise Tuya, Ellie Mahe, Ashley Aikenhead, Braden Jacopo, Annaline Liufau, Daphne Asasa, Marley Neyufi, Analomu, Faith Holly, Nadia Thomas, Jessica Del Cid, Itzayana Flores, and Aria Iona.
Back 10, Blue! Back 10, Blue! I need you back, Blue!
And that United squad has reached ARPTC territory only to have the ball ripped from its clenches Now a knock on against Arkansas. Well, I really shouldn't say that. Team from Arkansas. You know, I want to say ARPTC is the name, right? It makes me think Arkansas Performance Training Center or something like that. But again, it's American Rugby, 2 separate letters, Pro Training Center. Just so happens to be a team in Arkansas that the AR just works with, but their national name seems to match their pedigree of what they've brought to this tournament. Another big steal. Pretty good form tackle. United controls. Rather, ARPTC does. Some confusion on the pitch about that. Flips it free. Didn't seem to have much of a clue where that pass was going, but it went exactly where they wanted it. So too with this. 5 more for the Hawks. Their first final score today, again, 34-7. Currently this one, 37-5. Consistency. Make it 39. The Maui-Belmont match has still not gone final, so probably running about the same time as ours here. Again, I will have the call of ARPTC in Maui, 3:20 p.m. Mountain Time, 4:20 if you're in Arkansas listening to this. As for United, they'll take on Belmont Shore at a different field at 3:20 Mountain as well. Depending on how it's running at a certain field. Could be a few minutes later. Now is really the only time thus far today that we've been a few minutes behind. Supposed to have had another match start 7 minutes ago. Otherwise, we've been pretty much on the clock all day. Making it look easy. That should just about do it for the match. Conversion will probably bring this to its conclusion. And ARPTC will cruise on to 6 points in the pool.
I was about to say I'm getting in.
And that's it. 44-5, ARP.